Caitlin Newton, one of the better servers for Purdue. Just got that over, and it's an ace. That had just enough, and it turned out to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that ball was moving left and right the entire time. It was drifting over the net. That's a tough ball to pass as a passer.
It's the 4th ace for the Boilermakers. And she tried to do it again. That time, not as lucky, caught the tee. We talked about serve pass with Purdue. Dave Shondell did say the one thing that is challenging is making it interesting in practice every day because it can get old.
It does get old. I remember the good old serve and pass days. It's not a fun drill, but such a necessity, especially when there's no margin of error in the Big Ten.
Thomas Ilora. Oh my goodness.
You see the vertical on that play. It's almost like a Stephanie Samity, if you're familiar with Big Ten volleyball, for Minnesota on the back row. It looks like a front row attack from where she leads behind the 10-foot line and where she lands. She's hitting at such a high point.
Miller into the net. I'm going to steal a Kelly Sheffieldism. She's the best non-All-American in the Big Ten.
Facts. She'll be in the Olympics one day, no doubt.
What says that to you about her?
I mean, look at the way she plays, but her build, her athletic ability, her volleyball IQ. Biomedical engineer, by the way,
right.
Not to mention.
Big swing on the slide. And Purdue winds up with the point out of it. Also biomedical engineer that structured her classes a little bit better here as a sophomore. As a freshman, she took all the hard stuff in season, and it was a tough sled.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, especially at Northwestern.
Good save by Purdue. Great save, back row by Cannon. Cannon again, tried to keep it alive, and it still is. She'll send it over. Bush in the middle, and terminal for Trammell. She's perfect tonight.
Wow. Finished by Purdue, but Northwestern's defense is flying all over the place. You can see why they have so much energy on their side. Kiara McNulty sprawling out after coming down on the block. Love Cannon's defense on that right back position.
And the serve coming right to me.
Adriana Cannon is really impressive. Obviously in the front row, we've seen what she's able to do in the attacking spot, but what makes her even better is that she's a 6 rotation player, meaning she can play every spot in the back row, which is key defensively.
Maddie Cook checking in for Purdue. She's played the last couple of points here and does get the touch at the net. So Dave Shondell changing things up a little bit after dropping set 2. He goes to the 3rd of his 3 Maddies, and we're going to get a challenge here from Shane Davis.
I love his coaching approach, by the way. Just having conversation with him before the match, how he runs his team, how he was coaching them on their mentality leading into losing 3-0 last night and coming back with a completely different, refreshing outlook.
McNulty pushes the middle. Cannon had to adjust coming out of the back row. Trammell again. Michelle, she has been set 4 times tonight. She has 4 kills.
That's efficiency at its finest, and especially for a freshman. She does a really good job of getting in quick with her feet and just picking her arm swing at the last second.
Into the block. It's Trammell again sliding over. And Purdue has a 4-point lead. And a timeout taken by Northwestern. Taylor Trammell really making her presence felt. Here the freshman. Boilermakers trying to reassert themselves after dropping set 2.
Johnny Taylor had the last kill. She's now the server. Skinner off high hands gets the kill, and Kentucky now +6, and that maybe rears its head in the first set.
Well, this may be, you know, Avery Skinner may be the heir apparent. We certainly didn't think it last year. We didn't think it her sophomore year when she played herself to the bench fairly early in the year. But, you know, this year, how she's at least started this year, you have to look at her and go, boy, can she keep up? I think we just saw her hitting error. First hitting error.
Yeah.
Okay, Craig, get her out of there.
20 kills, first error. All right, what did she do wrong here?
She got stuffed. Ball coming from behind her head, and instead of going high here, you know, Tennessee's block is set. She knows it. She gets blocked.
Well, it was a good run. She goes right back to it, though. Nearly came up with a kill. Gets her hands on a block touch to the middle. Perinar is dug up. Down the pipeline, Stumler. Feltz gets a hand on it. That's a huge swing. Mahaffey from the right side, tracked down wonderfully by Stumler. A defensive angel in the back row that is somehow still alive. Mahaffey again, and they're not going to track that one down. Tennessee got into a long rally, and it won the point. That's what Eve Rackham told us she needed to see.
That's what she needed to do. This is where Allie Stumler just makes everybody on the court better, okay? Somebody who can keep that ball in play. Yes, they lost the point, but you can't not work hard when you're playing with somebody that runs those kinds of balls down.
Getzinger just got underneath that ball.
And Kentucky a little bit out of rhythm here, you know, with Lily and Getzinger on that ball, setting the ball a little bit tight to the net. Skinner dropping her arm a little bit. I mean, they're not as sharp right now as they were yesterday. We'll see if they can pick their way out of it.
Skinner is blocked again. That's Mahaffey right in front of her. And it's interesting. Kentucky came out hot in the first set, and Tennessee came from behind. Tennessee very much doing something similar here. And let's go back to the conversation of, in crunch time, last year you knew who Kentucky would go to. They didn't necessarily know who they were going to go to in the first set. And here in the second set, it's a solo stuff for the 5'10 Feltz on the outside. Timeout, Craig Skinner. It's adversity for the Young Cats.
Blocking, just absolutely blocking. Stuffing Getzinger on the outside after stuffing Skinner on the left. So Tennessee had 2 blocks all of last night. Tonight, they already have 7.
We will say it one time, and then we won't come back to it just to not harp on it for Lily Feltz. But we did talk to her this week and said, we know you're 5'10", and you could almost sense the eye roll. And she says, that's the one thing everybody always talks about. She knows she's shorter than the average outside, especially in the SEC, but she's able to make plays like that because when she was growing up, when she was a child, her family has a balcony that's 9 foot 5 inches, and her dad would hang a ball. She would jump and hit it. And when she hit it, they'd raise it, and she would jump and hit it, and just incrementally would get better over time so that she can come out here and do things like that and not think twice about what it says on the roster card.